Okay, so on the topic of money here, Ken, you wrote about Shohei Ohtani's impact in terms of money, marketing, etc., to a ball club as we're getting closer, hopefully, to figuring out where he's going to go and how much money he is going to command. Can you give us more context on what that impact is going to be like for one lucky team?
Well, it depends on the market, Scott, obviously, and certainly he'll mean different things to different places. But the gist of what I wrote is that it's not just a baseball decision with Shohei Ohtani. It's not simply saying, well, we project his WAR to be this, this, and this, and we're going to pay him accordingly. No, there's more to it. He is a cultural phenomenon of sorts. He is the biggest thing in baseball, a transcendent figure in the sport. So with that comes ancillary income from Japan, from a variety of places. Somebody mentioned to me today, a team that doesn't have a uniform patch yet, a deal for a uniform patch, you get Shohei Ohtani, suddenly that deal will look a lot better when you finally strike it. So in all of these different areas, direct-to-consumer broadcasting that we're seemingly are going toward that model, this cat can sell subscriptions on his own. So he is that guy in terms of someone who means maybe as much to your business as he does to your baseball team. Obviously, they're intertwined. We all know that. But he, unlike your average free agent, let's just take Aaron Nola as an example. Aaron Nola, you're signing for baseball reasons almost exclusively. Shohei Ohtani, it gets a lot bigger, and that's why the money is going to be so much bigger.
Let me ask you this. It seems like both New York teams are out of discussions and talking about Ohtani. Is there a reason why? I mean, do you think that's the right move? At least what we're hearing is the Mets don't want to be part of it.
Right. Jeff Passan reported that today, and obviously he's a great reporter. I have not heard that myself. I will believe any team is out, or I will not believe any team is fully out until he signs. And that's just the nature of free agency. We get surprised all the time. Not saying Jeff is wrong by any stretch of the imagination, but things do happen. And the Mets, it's not a natural fit necessarily, but for a team that claims to be building for 2025 and beyond, it does make some sense because he will start pitching again, hopefully, in 2025. And also, as I wrote today, Steve Cohen's trying to develop this entertainment megaplex at the site of Citi Field right next to it. All of these things kind of work hand in hand, the business and the baseball. So I would imagine that they're at least exploring it or have at least explored it. Maybe they're onto other things. Maybe their sole focus is Yamamoto. They certainly want him. He certainly fits as well because of his youth with their rebuilding plans, or building plans, I should say, going forward. The Yankees, I'm not sure why they wouldn't be all out for this guy. He would be a monster in that stadium. But at the same time, they could trade for Juan Soto. They can sign another pitcher. They can do some things otherwise to address their outfield in particular that they feel or may feel is more important to them. The Yankees are an interesting operation right now. We don't know what they're going to do. It seems that they should be poised to spend and spend big. But they do have some big commitments on the books already. And Hal Steinbrenner has not been someone who has spent freely over the years. They've spent selectively. They've spent on Garrett Cole. They acquired Giancarlo Stanton. They gave Judge the big deal. Are they going to have a big offseason the way they did in 2009, 2013? Remains to be seen.
You are helping to paint the picture that I've been trying to tell everybody, so I appreciate the help. But you just said about how you could circle everything around Shohei Ohtani. You need a huge market. You have the business end of it. You need him to go to a team that has possibly, they're pretty good on pitching right now. Anybody can always use more pitching. So tell me why I'm wrong that the Blue Jays wouldn't be World Series contenders if they sign him.
You're not wrong. And
he is wrong.
That team. Well, the one thing I'll say about that team, Todd, in support of what you're saying, they have yet to prove that they are capable of getting over the hump, so to speak. They're extremely talented, great rotation for sure, but they're kind of, as I wrote late in the season, paper tigers. So Ohtani would help them in that regard. Obviously, he's going to help any team that he joins. And, man, he'd make their rotation even better in 25, assuming he comes back without any problem. But for me, the Blue Jays make sense in a ton of ways. It's just a matter, guys, we have to keep this in mind. What does Shohei Ohtani want? That's the only thing that matters here. Because in my mind, and I wrote this today, if Ohtani says, I want Team X, a team could be the Giants, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Cubs, any team you can name. If he goes to that team and says, I want to play for you, do you really think they're not going to come up with the money? So it's his choice. He's going to get the money wherever he goes. It's just a matter, in my view, of where he wants to play, and that ultimately is going to drive this.
I don't mean to keep beating a dead horse here, but you both said World Series. Now, let me ask you this. If he goes to the Blue Jays, is that your team to pick to win the World Series?
No, I don't know that I would go that far. But
thank you.
He just called them paper tigers.
It would help.
Well,
yeah,
I'm just saying. He said they could be World Series bound.
For sure. Todd, I mean, I don't care what team he goes to. I'm not going to pick them to win the World Series on the basis of that. It's just too difficult to do that. So many things can happen over the course of the season. So many things can happen in September leading to the postseason. And so many things can happen in October during the postseason. Arizona Diamondbacks, who had them at this time last year? I don't think anybody did. I'm not sure how many people had the Texas Rangers. So you get Shohei Ohtani to win, yes. You get him also to elevate the aura of your brand and make your team that much bigger in the national spotlight, maybe even the world spotlight.